Welcome to Mornings with Mr. Kolton.
Welcome to Mornings with Mr. Kolton. And it's early in the morning, so you'll get what you get. Now, we're reading a story about a chicken because we're going to be doing an inquiry about chickens, and we might hatch some eggs. Before we do that, though, I want to read the story because I read it for room 217 earlier when I was subbing, and I liked it because it's a really good story, but there's some problems with it that I'd like to talk about after. So you ready for a story?
Yeah.
Okay. This is called Hedgies' Surprise by Jan Brett. And I know she's a very popular author because room 217 has a bunch of her books. And it's gorgeous illustrations, and it's a really nice story too. So we'll just enjoy it for that to start. Hedgies' Surprise. Once there was a speckled hen who laid an egg every day, only to have it taken by a little tomtin every morning. It all started because the tomtin got tired of porridge for breakfast. Each morning, the rooster crowed as the sun came up, and Henry knew the tomtin was on his way. So did little hedgehog who lived nearby. The tomtin always called out to her, "Henny, have you got a little yummy for my hungry, hungry tummy?" The tomtin climbed into the hen house, took Henny's warm, smooth egg, and ran off to cook it in his little kettle. Sprinkle it with salt and gobble it down, then he fell fast asleep in the hayloft until evening. Henny didn't like Tomtin taking her eggs, but she put up with it until one morning when she saw Goosey sail forth, smiling and bowing with a stream of piping goslings following her. "Oh my," Henny clucked. "Where did all those little ones come from?" "My eggs are hatching," crooned Goosey. "Here comes the last one now." From that moment on, Henny wanted a brood of peeping chicks of her very own. But how could she stop the tomtin from taking her eggs? The next morning, when the tomtin poked his head in, Henny tried. She clucked loudly and pecked. She flew at him, but nothing stopped that hungry tomtin from taking her egg again. No eggs, no chicks, no peeping babies. Henny wailed so loudly that she woke up the little hedgehog, her tears pouring down on top of him. "Poofa, stick, Hedgie went as she crawled out to talk to her. "Poor Henny. I've been watching the tomtin take your eggs. I'll help you trick him into stopping." The next morning, when the rooster crowed, there was the tomtin. "Henny, have you got a little yummy for my nearly empty tummy?" Henny and Hedgie were ready. The tomtin reached for an egg and pulled out an acorn. "Huh," said Tomtin. "What's this?" And off he went to try it. The acorn was tasty, but it didn't fill him up, and he awoke in the middle of the afternoon grumpy. The next time the tomtin arrived, looking for an egg, he found a bright red strawberry. It looked bigger than the acorn, so he ran off to cook it. The strawberry was jammy and sweet, but it only filled up the tomtin a little more than the acorn had, and he awoke early. The sun had just come up when the tomtin was at the hen house again, his stomach roaring with hunger. Pushing Henny aside, he grabbed for an egg, only to find a delicious-smelling mushroom. He raced off to cook it, and as scrumptious as it was, you don't like mushrooms, but other people find them scrumptious.
Yeah.
He raced off to cook it, and scrumptious as it was, he woke up with his little tummy growling for more. "Cock-a-doodle!" The tomtin rushed in even before the rooster finished crowing. "Henny, have you got something for my hollow tummy?" This time he found a smooth, round potato, even bigger than an egg. He cooked it quickly, swallowed it down, and went back to his hayloft. He woke up at sunset only half full. The Tomten had had enough. "Henny!" he shouted. "Tomorrow I want an egg for breakfast and nothing else. If I don't find one, I'll eat you up instead." Henny was scared. The Tomten had been tricked by an acorn, a strawberry, a mushroom, and a potato. How could they fool him again? "Don't worry, Henny," Hedgie told her. "Now it is time for my surprise," and he whispered in her ear. All night Henny waited on her nest and Hedgie on his. As soon as it began to get light, Hedgie gently covered his nest with straw and got ready for the surprise. Henny and Hedgie could hear the Tomten's stomach rumbling like thunder a mile away. He burst into the hen house, pushed Henny aside and grabbed. "Ow!" he howled. "Ow! Ow! Poofa, poofa, stick, stick!" He had clutched Hedgie, all closed up in a tight round ball of needle-sharp prickles. Henny and Hedgie listened as the Tomten ran home, howling. "Oh, thank you, Hedgie," Henny said, looking her dear friend. "I'm sure that Tomten won't be back here again for breakfast, but what I can't figure out is, where have you hidden all my eggs?" Just then, Henny heard a little peep. Little beep beep. Then another, coming from Hedgie's nest. She looked over and saw the straw begin to move. 5 baby chicks peeked out of their shells and fluffed up their down as Henny settled down with her babies nestled around her. The Tomten's mother was in the hayloft making breakfast for her hungry Tomten. "Hedgie, Hedgie, Hedgie, you are so full of surprises," Henny cried as she led her baby chicks into the sunshine. But the little Tomten didn't hear a word. He was sound asleep. His tummy was full of porridge. The end. So, you've raised chickens with me. What do you see is kind of wrong with this book?
Chickens can't talk.
You're right. Chickens can't talk. And I don't even know if they get along with hedgehogs.
I don't really know. I don't notice anything during it.
Yeah.
But I think you did, so maybe you could tell us.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for that intro. That was awesome. Well, first of all, how many days does this story take place in?
5.
It takes place in 5 days. Do you know how long it takes to incubate an egg? Incubate means to keep it warm and comfy in order for it to grow and then hatch.
2 weeks.
No, longer even. It takes 21 days, which is 3 weeks.
Oh.
So this story takes place in 5 days.
And chickens can't hatch in 5 days.
They will never hatch in 5 days. They have
And
to
if you
take
take them out after 5 days, all they're gonna do is die from the cold air.
From the cold air. That brings me to the other part. Where was Hedgie keeping the eggs?
In another nest.
In another nest. Who was on that nest?
Hedgie.
All the time?
No.
No, he was hanging out with Henny all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were planning things, they were trying to figure out how to trick Tomten.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody was on the eggs in the nest.
So it couldn't hatch because there wasn't any heat.
If you incubate an egg, you have to keep it the same temperature, 37 degrees, the whole time for 21 full days. For 3 full weeks, you're not leaving that nest. In fact, the chicken will only get up once a day for about 15 minutes to go pee and poop and then come back and sit on the nest.
How does, if the chicken goes up, goes away for 15 minutes,
Yep.
How does the egg stay incubated?
Well, because it's liquid inside, it takes, it's not instant, it doesn't get cold instantly. It's kind of like a hot water bottle. Hot water bottle is hot when you fill it up, and it stays warm. It slowly gets cooler over time, but it stays kind of warm for a long time.
Like an ice pack.
Like an ice pack the other way. Exactly, it stays cold. So eggs will stay warm enough for about 15 minutes before they have to be covered up again by the warm chicken. A hen will lay an egg every day, but most of the time, unless there's a rooster there putting a seed in it, it's not going to ever turn into a chicken. So when Thompson came to eat the eggs, unless those are fertilized eggs and Henny really wanted to have a whole bunch of chicks, and then it would take 21 days, normally every egg that it has is just going to go to waste.
Yeah.
It's not going to turn into a chick. And so it's actually a good idea to take them away and eat them. Because if not, they're just going to go rotten eventually. And so when you buy eggs, I just wanted to say this, when you buy eggs from Safeway and stuff, those eggs will never hatch into chicks. You can try to warm them up and incubate them as much as you want. They're not going to grow into chicks. They are just the food nutrition part for the seed that's not there. Which means that you don't have to feel guilty about eating eggs.
No.
The chicken is going to lay one every day anyways. And in most farms, where they, like Safeway and stuff, where they get their eggs, those farms don't even have a rooster.
And one other problem with the book.
What's that?
In books, they put that when chickens hatch, they're yellow, but in real life they're not yellow.
Some are.
Some are,
Yeah.
but like if they're in like Hawkeye, we were wondering why is he in a green egg?
Yeah, that's true.
And then when he hatched,
Yeah.
she hatched.
Yeah.
We found out when she grew up, she started laying the same types of eggs.
That's true.
So if the color of the egg is, that's the color of the egg they're gonna lay.
Sometimes. Yeah, you can't always guarantee that. But
Yeah.
yes, but a lot of times it is. If you, this
Yeah,
one,
like
yeah.
chocolate and marshmallow.
Yeah, it's true. White egg, brown egg. We're going to hatch eggs all together. I'm going to show you some videos of me making an incubator. I've got one that I bought and one that I'm going to make, and we're going to compare them, and we're going to get some eggs, and we're going to hatch them. It's going to take 21 days. It's going to be a while.
I know.
I may find some ducks, duck eggs. I'm going to see. I don't know. I don't have the eggs yet.
I want duck.
But if we do, then those take 28 days, not 21 days. They take an extra week. They take almost a full month. But we'll see. I'll see what kind of eggs I can get
I
first.
want a duck.
And so that's what we're going to do as a class in this time when we're not at school. And hopefully we'll get some new chicks out of it, because my little mini farm needs some new chickens. You'll follow me through this process. I'm excited to show you, and I'll teach you a few things along the way. Say bye, Nick.
Bye.
Mornings with Mr. Kolton.